Okay, hey again, YouTube. So, today's topic is cosmetic surgery, and um, I'm not technically talking about cosmetic surgery like in adults. I'm talking about it in teens, and I'm talking about kind of just a couple things about it. I'm not really going to get in depth into it because it's kind of a pretty broad topic. There's like a lot of controversy about it, and I don't think I want to be like that controversial person who's like I don't even know what. I just don't want it to make it too controversial. I will start off with like a little bit of a story. There's this girl. She's 14 years old, or she was when she had this done to herself, and she lives, I think, in Britain, something, England, where the currency is pounds. And her mother had this procedure done to her, which costs £1,200. Her name is Sophia Watson, or Sophie Watson, and you can look her up if you want to get a little more information on it, or on her. But she had tattooed makeup done to herself, and she has tattooed eyeliner, tattooed lip liner, her eyebrows filled in, and a fake beauty mark. Like, she has it all done to herself because she wanted to hide her natural coloring, and she does dye her red hair brown, so she has her eyebrows done to match. She also is a pageant girl. I don't know if you guys have ever heard or seen the show Toddlers and Tiaras, but it's appalling. That's the only word I can really think of. Appalling. So, yeah. But since she is a pageant girl, she has like 22 pageant titles. She's trying to make it big and be famous. So she kind of had this done to herself to kind of move that along, to fit that mold that everyone thinks is out there. That is basically unattainable. Maybe there are a couple celebrities that perfectly fit that mold, but I bet there are some people who could still find a couple things that are wrong with that mold. Anyway, moving on. Sophia, she also wants to get her freckles removed or hidden, or however you get freckles done. And that's something her mom actually disapproves of. There's a quote on that article that I found. All children should be valued for their abilities and talent. They should be free to grow up as children. Sadly, we have reached a point where many children get distressed because they think they don't look good. For some vulnerable children, this can even lead to mental health problems. And that's completely and entirely plausible. I think this mold that isn't really there, that everyone thinks is there, I think that trying to be able to reach it and trying really hard and never getting it, I think that can be so frustrating. Like, trying to be perfect is probably one of the hardest things you could ever do. But yeah. Another thing about cosmetic surgery is that teens have very many different reasons, individually, and different reasons just from adults to get cosmetic surgery. Some want to fit in, like I said, fit that mold. Some want to look like their peers, maybe have matching noses, I don't know. There was an episode of Wizards of Waverly Place where they wanted like these two popular girls got cheek implants to match the head popular girl. And so throughout the show, they had their cheek implants up here, and they would start going down every time they came on screen to the point where it was at their cheeks. Scariest thing ever. Anyway, another reason why teens might want to get cosmetic surgery is because they think they might be flawed. Everyone has their flaws. I don't know if I said this before in my other video, but I personally don't like perfection. I think it's completely overrated, and I think it's unattainable. I also think it's boring. Being perfect is completely boring. I think the more flaws you have, the more interesting that makes you. Your flaws help you grow as a person, and it helps you overcome things. So I think they actually help you in the end. Like that song, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But also, some things that do hurt you makes you stronger too. Continuing on that, adults do have cosmetic surgery done to them to make them stand out a little more. That's apparently the reason. Like nose jobs, lip injections, boob jobs, lipo, all that stuff. Also, the American Society of Plastic Surgeons in 2010 did about 219,000 procedures to individuals aged 13 to 19. So I'm 15, so about in my age range, from about 7th graders to college students. That's about the age range. I think one thing about cosmetic surgery is that no matter who you are, no matter what your age, you need to be emotionally ready for this. You need to be emotionally mature, know all the consequences, and be able to deal with it. Like, you're the one who wanted to get this done. If you look terrible in the end, don't blame the doctor, don't blame your mom or dad. Blame yourself, if anything. If you're going to blame anyone, blame yourself for wanting it to get done. I'm not saying people are bad people if they want to get cosmetic surgery. I want to say be prepared for some bad things to happen. Also, be prepared and know your stuff. If you're going to get this done, make sure you know the physical consequences, the emotional consequences, and the actual cost of these procedures. Also know that there are people that are always going to have something to say about something you're doing. Like, haters gonna hate, okay? Like, really. You could be made fun of. If you're prepared to deal with that, okay. Go on with your surgery, or whatever it is. But a couple of the surgeries that I did look into, like, briefly, one is rhinoplasty, which I think is a nose job. It's like probably the big word for a nose job. You have to be 15 to 16 to have this done, and I think all minors definitely need parental consent, parental or guardian consent. There were 35,000 procedures done to 13 to 19-year-olds in 2010. I'm pretty sure it was 2010 because that's when this research was conducted, but I think I wrote the wrong date. And that's 50% of the surgeries that they did in that year. There's also otoplasty, which may not be as common, but it is ear surgery. And like, it's kind of like getting your ears plastered back. They're pinned back, and you have to be at least more than 5 years of age. But I think you should at least wait it out till you're 16. Maybe you'll grow into your ears. Who knows? That was 11% of the procedures, and that was 8,700 procedures that year. There's also acne and acne scar treatment, which is like microdermabrasion, chemical peels, dermabrasions, and there's laser skin refinishing, which is also like a microdermabrasion. In 2010, once again, there were 19,500 procedures done for lasers, which was probably the microdermabrasion, 5,500 for chemical peels, and 3,000 dermabrasions. I'm not completely sure what a dermabrasion is. It's probably like a really extreme exfoliant. I don't know. So they were 13 to 19 years old. Then there's also a breast amalgamation, which I'm pretty sure is a boob job, because it says stuff about implants. So to get a saline implant, you have to be 14 years old or older. And then to get silicone implants, you have to be 22 years old or older. And then, like, apparently some girls get this done because one breast is bigger than another, and they do this to even it out and kind of, like, I don't know. But in the article, it did say that it is something that you could probably grow into when you get older, but these people who get this done want results now. And I may sound like I'm saying something against these people, but I'm trying to be as neutral about this as possible, as Switzerlandish of this as possible. And then there were 8,500 or more procedures done to 18 to 19-year-old, which was a 3% increase from 2009, which was the year before this research was done. But there's also something I want to say to add with my own opinion, which is, like, that has something to do with cosmetic surgery. It's this image that we kind of want to look like, this body type we want, and that is Barbies and Disney princesses. I mean, come on, Barbie is too perfect. She has the perfect figure. She has long legs, long blonde hair. I'm not blonde. Sorry, I don't really want to look like a Barbie. She has perfect makeup, which is like blue eyeshadow, which somehow she rocks all the time. And then her feet are built for high heels. And I mean built, like they're like this. She has that arched foot, and she can't wear any shoes besides high heels. I think having little girls play with Barbies like that and maybe grow up to think that a Barbie is the perfect figure to have, I think that's not a very good thing to be teaching younger girls. I mean, sure, if they think it's fun, go ahead and let them play, but I think Barbie is something that is so iconic in its own way that we see it as something that we want to look like. Anyway, I just think it's some unattainable thing that we think we need, and I think we should kind of create our own image of something we want to be, not something we see on TV, not something we used to play with when we were little, and definitely not something that we would feel frustrated to try to get to. But that's all I have to say on cosmetic surgery. So I'll leave you with that, and I'll link everything below. So I hope you guys have a great night, great day. It's like 10 o'clock at night right now, so I'll see you guys soon. Bye.